All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Off Market Letters, finding business and just all around business activities, things you can be doing to increase your sales, your leads, your income. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to look at a bunch of different things today, focusing in on mostly just different opportunities you can do. Who is working with a buyer right now? Raise your hand. You're working with a buyer. You're working with a buyer. You're actually active. You're showing properties. Okay. I think there's something that a lot of us kind of like get into a habit when it comes to working with buyers, where you're missing out on additional opportunities. Something that you can set yourself apart from when you're working with buyers in general is doing off-market marketing as well at the same time. How many times are you actually sending off-market letters just because you have a buyer, one buyer? If you're not doing it, you're completely missing out. And this is one of the easiest ways to get additional business. Because I guarantee you 99.9% probably of our entire MLS is only using the MLS to find their buyers a house. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of different strategies that you can use to implement right away that will give you not only a difference in picking up more buyers because you are doing something different, but actually giving you more at-bats with sellers at the exact same time. Does that make sense? So one of the first letters that we're going to talk about is the Meet the Simpsons Family, is what it's been titled. So as soon as you get a buyer, so you raise your hand too, you guys raise your hand, you have a buyer. Where's the buyer looking at to buy? King County. That's pretty widespread. Or Snohomish. Okay. First thing you're going to have to do when you're working with someone, and why I want to ask about a real world, like subject here, so that you guys can really understand how this can work and how it needs to work. That's like, obviously that's too large of an area. You need to kind of pinpoint it out. So have you shown the buyer a house yet in those areas? You have. Where was it at? Where was that house located? Federal Way, Auburn. Okay. What's the price point that they're looking at? 400. 400. Okay, so this is the perfect thing. Okay, so I'm going to go to the MLS. Actually, I'm going to go back. Let me revise this. I was doing 500 for King, so this is even better because we want to like make this a real world example. So we'll go under 400. There's only, in all of King County, there's only 24 active properties under 400,000, single family residential, not condo. Okay, we could take a look at this and see kind of like what it is. We'll go to the newest list dates to the oldest. Right, so you can see, well, this one looks like they just lowered the price. They've been on for 52 days.
So those people are looking for 3 bedrooms.
Oh yeah. So you want to do a higher bedroom count?
Yeah.
Looks like 3s. No 4 bedrooms. So this one has been on for 17 days. Did you see this one? SeaTac?
So.
Property's dirty and is a fixer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're definitely going to be seeing, in that price point, in those areas, you're going to be seeing this stuff, right? So, perfect example. So the first thing you need to do in this situation where you have a buyer and you know the areas is, first you need to pinpoint the area to a more hyper local, achievable farming area, right? King County is not an achievable farming area unless you got $10,000 a month you want to spend on farming to that large of an area, right? So pinpoint your hyper local markets, the first thing you need to do. So I would say find the area that they would be happiest living the most, okay? So you've already shown them properties in Federal Way, Auburn. Where did they like better? Huh? Neither.
They're more, they're from Everett, so they would like to stay up there, but there's nothing up there. But they're here.
So they would love to be in Everett. So it looks like, yeah, I mean, you got more stuff right into the city.
Everett, King County,
Oh, that's Snohomish.
Snohomish.
Mm-hmm,
So let's go Snohomish.
mm-hmm,
Let's see if we really can find us people something.
mm-hmm. So take this off and we'll go down to Snoho instead. Now go to the map, under 400. And you got some.
Okay, let's look at 3 bedrooms again.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what's coming up. We'll sing a line. We'll go. That's the baths. Yep, again, only 3 beds. So there's a large one.
Oh, they don't-
That's Tulalip. That's way up there. I mean, it's actually not too far. Yeah. You're definitely gonna be finding some of the, fixer properties, stuff that needs work or manufactured,
Mhm.
which, yeah, so we can go to criteria. Let's go down and then you can probably go to financing type. So if you do not have this listed, you have to go down into your add additional fields, hit the add remove button. You guys know how to do that? You click on this and then you'll go ahead and search in. And I think if you type in like what you need, oh, FHA, you see it'll say project approved by FHA, and then you can add it. And the other one was financing.
Potential term.
Yeah, potential terms. Yeah. Yeah, potential terms. So there it is. Then you would hit add. Now you have it in your selected fields. So that's something that you can do because the MLS only defaults you with all the stuff above this line. And as you can see, I've added tons of different ones. So a lot of time people looking for ADUs and all that kind of stuff. All of that is only in the additional field section. Bless you. So other thing you can do, you can remove condition. You can make it to be, but then again, that's not even guaranteeing. Right? So let's go back up to, why is that thing in here? I don't understand why that's on the screen. So we'll go FHA. Let's see, what does that do for map? 1.
At 385,
Mhm.
where is it located?
Barrington.
There.
Mhm. So this is a difficult situation, right? To find this type of price point. But what I want to really pound into your guys' heads today is, let's say it's someone it's like 700,000, in this area, and there's plenty of homes. By you not doing an off-market letter, even for those clients, what are you missing out on? Yeah, you're missing on more opportunities. So this is what you have to get into a habit of saying. I want you guys to just put this as part of your daily business practice when you are engaging and talking with clients, buyers and sellers. Is like, I work differently. 99.9% of all the other brokers in our market, they only depend on the Northwest MLS to find their homes for their buyers. I do something completely different. With your permission, I would like to put your names on a letter for the areas that we're looking for, and we're going to be trying to not only fish for the off-market opportunities to find you a house, because we might get you a deal and we might find your dream home that's not even listed, And also, we're gonna be using the MLS, and I'm gonna be reaching out to my database and saying that I have a client that's looking in this area. Do you know of anyone? So it's kind of like a trifecta. You're not just only using the Northwest MLS. Do you guys know the percentage of conversion as far as when you first start working with someone, the first person you meet, a client? You know what that percentage is? That typically they'll use the first person they meet as a broker? 70%, 75%. That they will work for the very first person they meet or engage with. Regardless of if it's a letter, open house, run in at the coffee shop, whatever it may be. So probability is already pretty highly in your favor if you are active. Right? That's the key thing. You got to be engaging and active in business activity. This is one of the easiest ones to do. How many letters have you sent out this month so far? How many have you sent out? How many have you sent out? How many have you sent out? How many have you sent out for your free 125 a month? You sent them all. What did you send out?
I sent letters.
Okay. Have you gotten any responses yet?
I got one response. But,
What was the response?
well, they were just checking like the price of their like condo.
So you ended up doing a CMA for them?
Yeah, it wasn't really like an email response, it was just like they like used my website.
So they did so they jumped, so from your letter, they went to your website, they found that, see how much your home was worth. They looked it up.
Yeah, so I have their email and all that, but yeah,
How did you get their email?
Because they went into her site.
Yeah,
But they put in their email.
yeah.
Really?
Well, that's that's a full-on engagement, not just the using buy side to get engaged. Right?
Yeah, I tried reaching out, but so far no response. but
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Mailing them like every month.
Mhm.
And, yeah.
Keeping in contact, right?
So.
Okay, so have you sent out
I
letters?
printed out my letters yesterday
Okay,
and I gotta handwrite them.
okay, which ones are you doing?
This is what I need help with. I just found like, I go on Etsy and I find like cute little corny, like, so I have one for like March,
Okay,
like kind of. Had the like the luck, like, St. Patrick's Day, but it was just one of those generic, like, I'm happy to help, like, if you want a free market analysis or that kind of thing.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but I never get any responses. So I'm like, I think I need to change my letter or what I'm
Okay.
saying. But
So there's a couple things we have to talk about any type of letter, any type of marketing, farming you're doing. First and foremost, don't expect a single thing for 6 months of continuing every month you're sending to the same people. You have to do it at least 6 to 8 months. That's the kind of the range that you should pretty much target and sign up for. Yes.
So I did send out a letter, not this year,
Mhm.
last year when we first started talking about off market.
Mhm.
And I had a client who bought in the area, so I sent a letter who was looking. Jim.
Okay.
So I did send out a letter, when I was looking for a client in Tacoma area, and I sent it out to like 100 people. I had 2 people who did reach out to me.
Mhm.
It's kind of funny, 2 people who reached out to me and one of them was, I'm not selling right now, but I'll keep my eye open for anybody who might be selling.
That's great.
Actually, both of them said that. I followed up with both of them. And one of them's like, yeah, still not selling. I haven't heard anything. And then I had somebody, one of those 2 called me back and said, I'm not selling, but my neighbor just put their house on the market. I'm thinking, why didn't you call me before they put the house on the market? But that's another story.
Yeah.
And then my clients, we did end up finding a house in that neighborhood. And the owner said, are you the one who sent the letter?
Mhm.
And so I knew that they were holding, because he held on to it. And he was like, when I saw the name on the contract, I was like, I wonder if that's the same lady.
Mhm.
And when we came across each other, he's like, are you the one?
That's-
So I'm now staying in touch with that neighborhood because of that. So,
Yeah, so first and foremost, you have to understand that it takes a lot of time, a lot of consistency, right? You've got to send to the same people and you gotta have a strategy. So let's talk about this. Let's talk a little bit more about the letter, and don't worry, everybody on Zoom. I have these all paper versions here. I'm going to send out the letters to the whole office again, so you're gonna get all the same letters. You can use them as a template. Some people are even using ChatGPT now to make a new letter, and a few people like that one better than this one. It's okay, but there's 3 elements you need to have in this letter that you're going to be using for this very first strategy when you have an actual real buyer. That's the first and foremost. Do not send fake buyers. And don't, if you say the words, I have a buyer. I have a buyer. How much weight does that have behind it? Does it? How many letters, how many things are people sending out that say, yeah, we have buyers. We have buyers. I have a buyer. There's way more people sending that message. I'm gonna read this to you. And you guys, I want you to write down or be ready to talk about points that you hear that is different than that messaging. First thing is the title is Meet the Simpsons Family. Okay, dear, and you want to have the actual sellers' names, the owners of the property's names. Okay, not dear homeowner. Dear name of the actual person. My clients, Marge and Homer Simpson, are currently looking to purchase a home specifically in the Quiet Water neighborhood. They currently live in Seattle and are looking to move closer to their family here in Lake Tapps. After touring many communities around the lake, they have decided that Quiet Water is the perfect neighborhood to raise their 2 kids, Bart and Lisa. My clients are looking to make a purchase and at market value and can accommodate for a quick or extended closing. As you may know, there are not many homes for sale in Quiet Water. I've narrowed down a search of homes that fit their criteria, and your home is one of them. If you've been thinking of selling, we would love the opportunity to come out and tour your home. We are looking for any potential options that would work for Marge and Homer. And I'm not looking to list your home. Sincerely, Bob Broker, your information. Please call if you have any questions. All right. What is different about this letter?
person.
Yeah, first of all, it's actually made to the person's name. Okay, first and foremost. Next, it's telling you who the actual buyers are, their names and their kids' names, like, in this situation. So the first thing you're gonna have to do, like we said, is find the market. It's gotta be hyper local. If you can name the actual community names that you can farm to, this is 500 times better than the hello King County. I have a buyer. Dear homeowner, to whom it may concern. As soon as their eyes read that, it is not important. Okay? So this is going to be very specific, and you're naming the actual community they live in. That is uber hyper local, right? Because there might be only 47 homes in that community. That's it. Whitewater's a little bit big. It's probably maybe like 70 homes or something like that. But the whole point is you've got to be specific. All right. You're targeting that community. So as soon as your client, like, man, this house is nice, but maybe it's a little too much, or maybe it's only a 3-bedroom, I need a 4, or whatever it may be. Now you found, like, aha, now you have the client that you can use to use the letter for. Okay, So you're going to go ahead and get their permission. Okay, Simpson, hey, you know, like I said, I do completely different than 99.9% of all the other agents in our market. I'm gonna do off-market letters to try to find us something else also at the same time of stuff in the MLS. So you need to get these done right away. So get with your title person. You better be Johnny on the spot to be ready, because you need this to go out fast. Because if you keep delaying, you don't send it out, you're missing out on both the opportunities to helping the client, because you're gonna do what you said you can do, and also getting more at bats. Because you will be shocked at how many people take this letter and like they read it and they're like, well, you know, we've been kind of like thinking about selling. This is an opportunity for us to work kind of at our own pace. Because do you know like why so many people don't want to sell right now?
Because they have nowhere to go.
They don't know what to do. They have nowhere to go. They have such a good rate right now. They're like, I can't afford to buy anything else. We don't even really know our options. Boy, I wish we could just find someone who'd be willing to just buy our house. We could figure out something slower, not have to open it up, put it on the market and be rushed. This sounds like a really good option. There's a few other brokers. I don't have the permission yet to share like some of the strategies they're doing, but they're doing this exact same thing. They've had so much success with it. Now it's become a thing where they can't keep up. Their clients basically, they're getting them something, they're moving on, and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, but you know, we just got under contract, but can I come out and take a look anyway? You know, and try to like, see if this would be something that, you know, it might even be better. And so what do you know? They make a connection, and the people are like, just in the exact same boat. They're like, we don't know what to do. We really don't want to go on the market. This seemed like a really good option. That's the reason we called you. So now they're working on the next steps because the buyer's going through with the first purchase. You know, they're like committed and they're happy. But the broker just picked up a seller and they're working with them now. So every single time you have a buyer, if you're not implementing this strategy, how many things are you really missing out on? A lot. All right, so that's letter one. Next strategy we need to talk about is who has a listing or who had a listing recently. Raise your hand. That maybe even just sold. Okay. Hopefully you have done at least some of the easiest things like the Bear Printing postcards campaign. There's a 5-pack of postcards you can do for 55 closest neighbors to that single house. You guys all know where your next listing is probably coming from. Where is it?
From where you're listing.
It's right around where you just had a listing. What sellers do is they see what their neighbor's home sold for, and as soon as they see that thing goes pending and sold and everything, they're like, wow, what did it sell for? Do you guys think they're curious about that?
Yeah.
Do they want to know?
Yeah.
Why do they want to know? How do we know they want to know? Let's ask that. How do we know for sure they actually really do want to know this? Even if they're not selling. There's evidence. How? How do we know? Where do they go? Huh? Yeah, where do they go? They go to Zillow, they go to Redfin, they're checking. We know this for a fact. How did Zillow get so big? You guys know what the secret thing, their secret sauce, what the thing was that got so many people to them? What was it?
Estimate.
Come to us, we'll tell you how much your home is worth for free, online, you can see it. Was it right?
No,
Did that matter?
no,
What were they telling them?
in small print.
Yeah, they were telling them how much their home was worth, and that is how they got so big. People want to know this. they are curious about their home's value. That you have to always remember that. Like, no matter what, they are always wondering this. So that's another thing I will say to you. If you are not, have everybody in your sphere, in your database, in your CRM, and you're not sending them a monthly housing update, or at least like the buy side, sign them up for the buy side, so at least it's, the valuation is coming from you, I would say you're not even doing your job. I mean, you are completely missing the boat. They want to know, you're supposed to be the expert, right? If they're not receiving relevant real estate information from you on a consistent basis, you're not doing your job. So you should go through your entire database, one person at a time, one client at a time, and like, where are they? Where do they live? Everything about them should be in your database. You've got to be consistent at this. Because if not, Zillow, Redfin, or whoever else that's going to keep coming into our industry will be the expert. They're going to keep looking to them, regardless of how much money they're losing. Okay, so the bear printing the campaign. So as soon as you get a listing, I hope you guys are inviting the neighbors. You're doing that full listing launch sequence. Okay, Lennox has talked about this thing ad nauseum. He has talked about this forever for the strategy. So first, what if a neighbor is not invited? What does their body language look like when they do come into your open house? What is it? Standoffish? Timid?
Like slowly, like.
Yeah,
You know, like.
they make themselves small. That's what body language experts have talked about. Their body language is, hi, I'm just, they will literally say, I'm just a neighbor. I just wanted to take a look, and my sister's thinking of moving in this neighborhood. We would love to have them live close. Or it's they're interested, period, because they're thinking of selling. They want to see how you work. They want to see how the staging looks, like how the house looks, since maybe they did Market Ready Plus. There's a whole bunch of things. So first and foremost, you have to understand the psychology behind a neighbor is the fact that they're going to be timid. They're going to be afraid. They're going to walk in and their body language is going to be different because they feel like they're not supposed to be there. Do you want them to feel like that? So you have to get into a habit of door knocking, inviting them, or do the postcards and inviting them, but using the signage and everything for the open house, private open house for the neighbors only first, because that is a completely different concept. When they walk in, their body language is totally different. They're supposed to be there. They walk in like, oh my gosh, like, this is the comments we have heard time and time again. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is nice. Like, you guys, like, you actually invited the neighbors first. Like, this is cool. I wish our agent would have done something like that. Or like, this is a different concept. They're not walking in timid. They're not walking in, small. They're supposed to be there. And that's the exact type of engagement you want to be doing. And the conversations are way different. They will be open, they're definitely going to be way more open. So if you have not done any of the, complete listing launch sequence, like strategies, get in your MyDesk, get in and get in there and pull up the stuff for the full listing launch and look at all the things you can do. It's crazy, but these are the type of things you have to do if you want to do more business. You're doing it anyway, right? You're out there, you're doing the open, you're going to be there anyway. And that also goes along with the strategy about the online, like doing your Facebook Live, putting out there, oh, only 4 people saw it. But the 4 people saw you being active in working real estate, right? That's what you want them to see. Because all that does is reinforce your branding and your job.
And
Yvonne?
I send out, an email to all of my past clients,
Mhm.
all of my clients, and, Levin did an open house,
Yeah.
and two of my clients came to the open
I
house.
heard that.
Thinking I was gonna be there, but
Oh,
they
yeah,
still came to the open house, and one came from, Snoqualmie, and
dang,
one came from Kent. The house was in Kent.
yeah,
Yeah, two people came by to see the open house based on me sending them pictures and everything via email to them.
every single time you have a new listing, why aren't you telling your sphere? Say, hey, everyone, got a brand new listing, if you know anyone that's, this might be a great fit for them, or maybe you're looking for that next rental, perfect property, whatever it may be, understand who your people are and what their wants and needs are, but Andrew Tim does a really good job about sending out in his, to his sphere again, every time he has a win. And this is part of the core coaching too, right? You want to get your wins out there and into your sphere so that they can see that you're being active and that you're actually working and that it takes a lot of work. Sometimes people have a completely totally different understanding of what real estate, business looks like. They think you just sit back and yeah, I just sit back and collect checks, there's no work. They don't quite see the full process and understand how hard it really is. Definitely for new people who get into this business, I'm sure you thought it was totally different than once you actually got in. But being able to send those wins out, yeah, we just listed this, we got, and then of course, sending it out to the sphere first, and then next is what happened? Oh, we got 7 offers. In this market, I heard that the market's dead, or I heard the market's crashing. You hear all these different things, right? So are you putting the wins out to your sphere? The bear printing postcards are definitely unique. There's 5 different ones, and I only grabbed the 4. The first postcard, actually the first one, you have an option to do an open house or new listing. So new listing, and it says special kickoff weekend. We always try to list on a Thursday or a Friday so that you can get the demand, stacked up for that first open house weekend. You always want to do it that way if you can. Send up the postcards, right? So as soon as your listing goes live, within about 20 minutes, you should get the email automatically from Bear Print. And it says, approve your postcard to the 55 closest neighbors. Boom, click. The active new listing one is just new listing, or you have the opportunity to put new Covington listing or whatever the name of the community. You have the option to change that. So it allowed you. So as soon as it goes, 55 neighbors. Hopefully you did the door knocking. Hopefully you did the inviting the neighbors, right? So not only are they connecting the face to the name, because they're going to get the postcard too, but as soon as you actually do get an offer accepted and it goes pending, now you got the under contract, right? And as soon as that, changed the status of the MLS, boom, you get the new postcard, and it's the under contract postcard. And now the opportunity you can do to how many offers did you receive, right? So if you got multiple offers, say you got multiple offers. This is very unique. Most companies, right, they might do the open house postcard or a just listed. John O. Scott's the only company I even know of. I've never seen any other company ever do a pended. And how many offers? Have you? Has anyone seen any other company? I've never seen them do it. So now you're sending to the same 55 neighbors. Oh, it's under contract now. A lot of people are like, oh, it's pending. Some people don't quite understand even pending, right? But, oh, it's under contract already? And how many offers did they get? That's a different message, isn't it? Are you curious about the current market value of your home? Receive a free home valuation report and see how many buyers are looking in your area at, there it is, QR code also for your buy side. Did you guys know those were on there? Yep, so boom, those go. Then, once the house changes from pending to sold in the status of the MLS, within 20 minutes, boom, now you got the availability to approve the sold postcard. And it says your neighbor's home just sold. Would you like to be next? Call to find out what it's sold for, what it sold for. So you could do that. So now they quit putting the price right on there, and then it says sold in 4 days. Sold in 4 days. What are they telling you? That's how long it was on the market, right? That's how quick it went pending. So sold in 4 days. That's what happened, right? It really did. So way different than now. It's not just telling you the price. Now people are like, oh, wow. Well, that gives you an action item, right? Now it says if you would like to discuss, oh, it says thinking about selling, if you'd like to discuss selling your property, call for a private consultation today, get a free market analysis and buyer activity report. There are more buyers interested in your neighborhood. Now might be a good time for you to review your options of selling and buying. I'd be happy to meet with you and provide a market analysis as well as a purchase options. Learn more about the value of your home in today's market. And there's the link and then a QR code to the buy side again. Questions, let's talk. All your branding done. The next postcard that you can automatically, sign up for to send is the want to know your home's value. So there it is, more in, and it's pretty much almost the same messaging. And of course, a QR code to your buy side again. And then the last one is Market Ready Plus. It's a thing, because a lot of people are like, we don't have the funds to fix our home up to get it ready to sell. We're gonna have to wait maybe till summer until we can. Isn't this the most true comment that we're hearing right now? Definitely. Budgets are tight, cost of things are higher. They're like, yeah, we got equity. You guys have options for them. So the Market Ready Plus is another way to give them options. So it's like a 5-pack, campaign that you could do for those. Okay, next strategy. On Zillow, when you go and you search an area, you do have the buttons here, right at the top. Oops, stop it there. So you can look in, I did just King County. There's tons in here, right? But there are for sale, for rent, and sold is the first drop down. Click it again. Now you can see the different things. So maybe just by owner. Coming soons you can't have. That's not even legal in Washington. If you're a broker, you do that, you'll get fined from MLS. They have auctions and foreclosures. But by owner, there's only 12 listings, so you can apply. Or maybe you want to look for pre-foreclosures. So you got some of these ones right here. You can easily do those off-market letters, but please cross-reference to see if they're listed already. Sometimes people list them and they stick in the system and it's not quite right. But do cross-reference the property address for each one of these. They kind of hide these ones now. They used to have make me move. They got rid of that. Why did they get rid of the make me moves? Do you remember? What did Zillow used to do that they're not doing anymore?
Buy properties.
iBuyers. They were buying, they were becoming the buyers. And you remember this? And then the public were like, well, wait a minute. They went on the news. They said, oh, you're going to buy our house for way less than market value. And they're, oh, no, we're going to pay market value. And then we're going to fix it up. And then we'll try to sell it. How long did that last? They lost millions. They shut that down, laid everybody off. So that the make me moves was their own free leads. So they removed that. Now they just have the, anybody's a make me move. Okay. If someone was going to offer you, $25 million cash, close in 5 days, you can live in the house for 5 years for free right now. Are you a seller? Anybody's a make me move. Okay. Don't forget that. Anybody would move probably for the right price and the right terms and the right, reasons. These for sale by owners are, they want to try to sell. So here's the address. They cut price cut. It's 1 bed, 1 bath. This, I would be looking in here for your buyers also, but here's the property owner's phone number. So a lot of these ones are coming from forsalebyowners.online.com. So some of these actually are listed. It is weird how they do it and they allow it. But there are some in here. I usually try to look for the ones that are like definitely got the worst photos. You got a pink garage door and they want $1 million.
For sale by owners that are listed, can you contact them to try to
Mm-mm.
list them?
Yeah, look at the colors in this are all different colors, bad photos, not enough inside of the house. So how you do this, you got to cross-reference, just take the house and number and the street, so 106. Go into matrix. Do a search, general.
Or just go to real list and drop it in there.
Yeah, you can do that way too. And it was 106, so I always go 106 first and see, does it find any matches? Nope, no matches. Put in the TH. And nothing. So there's nothing, it's not listed. So there you go, that's somebody who's trying to sell online. In a market that's, we don't have a lot of inventory. I would definitely call them up. Call them up. See if you can tour the property. I know they're asking for $1 million, but whatever. We used to call for sale by owners and we used to just call and just say, hey, looks like you're trying to sell for, for sale by owner. I see you're on Zillow. If I could get you your $1 million and the commissions on top, compensation on top, would you be willing to meet? Yeah, okay. So go and meet. What's the percentage people tend to work with? The first person they meet with? First broker? What's the percentage? 70, 75%. The odds are in your favor. There's someone who's active, who's looking to sell. All right, next is, any questions before we jump into more of the other letters?
You had mentioned that there were 3 elements and one was name of the client. What were the other 2 elements?
Oh, the other 2 elements. Oh, the first was the hyper local.
Okay.
It's got to be hyper local. You can't be doing the letters like county. You need to know the name of the community, basically. Okay. Next is you can have to name the letter to the actual people who live in the home. Don't say dear homeowner. That's not going to be, and then handwrite. I would handwrite these, the envelopes. Don't do the, and I would use a plain envelope. Or a bright colored envelope or a different colored envelope, something different and it's handwritten. No labels and, your logo and all that. No, you want it to be very personal, right? And then third is naming the actual clients, their names, their full names, who they are. Some people have elected to include a photo of the family and stuff like that. What of the client, whatever. That is definitely way more personal. I don't know if that's even necessary, but include your business card too. Also, so then, or even a calendar, like you've got the magnets for the Mariners, whatever it is, they might just throw you on the fridge. And they're like, oh, that was nice. Yeah, we're not really interested in selling now. Like Yvonne was saying, those people, but they could connect with the letter. That's different, right? Yvonne?
I had a client who I was trying to find a house for and I wanted to send a letter out. And they didn't want me to because she was trying to move in the area she was renting already. And she knew a lot of the neighbors and stuff. And she had one of those unique names.
Yeah.
That if you put it on there, people would know it was her.
Yeah.
So we opted to use their middle names. Versus their first names.
Oh, there you
So
go.
that way,
That's
we don't
cool.
almost-
That's a good idea. Yeah, again, I said in the beginning, like in this first Simpsons letter, you've got to get permission from the client before you start mailing those out. I have heard of another broker that basically lost a client because they found out from one of the neighbors in the neighborhood where they wanted to only buy, and they said, hey, did you send a letter to, I think it ended up being one of the relatives, like their aunt, and they're like, hey, I didn't even tell them yet we were gonna move out, and it caused strife, I didn't give you permission to do that. You just asked.
Well, I mean, I didn't send it yet. but
Yeah,
I want the I'll put a wedding, like, photo for the letter, you know? So,
If they want to do that, you got to think about that, sometimes people are like. Oh, I don't want a young family. I don't want kids living in this neighborhood. I don't want that, whatever. Just think about it, huh?
and then it makes more cold.
You stop. All right. Okay, here's the next one. Okay, now, if you had a listing in the neighborhood, you also not only doing the postcards, why not trying a letter? And if you really did, like, let's say you had 6 offers, first thing on this thing is we have 5 buyers for your home. Because there were 5 other buyers that couldn't buy a home. Dear John and Jane Doe, you're naming the actual sellers again. I'm Eric Scholl, the realtor who sold the home at 1234 Elm Street in Fairwood. Today's real estate market in 2023 is vastly different than what we saw months ago. There are currently more qualified buyers in the market. You might have to retool some of these letters, right? But I mean, there definitely is more buyers than homes right now. Like Puget Sound Business Journal and the Seattle Times just put out articles about we're 57,000 short of inventory for the need of homes in our area. So that definitely sounds like we need more houses, right? There are currently more qualified buyers in the market than there are homes for sale. Many homes are getting multiple offers and they're selling for thousands over the listed price. In the case of 1234 Elm Street, we entertained 6 offers and the property ultimately sold for thousands more than its asking price. It is worth noting that those 6 offers represent 5 buyers still looking for a home in your Fairwood neighborhood. If you or someone is thinking of selling a home in Fairwood, call or text me today with my phone number so I can discuss the choices you have in today's real estate market. At John L. Scott, Kent North, our main focus in working with you is primarily your safety and good health. With historic low interest rates, which you can't say any of this stuff now. Buyer demand is high in many neighborhoods. Please contact me for further details on what buyers are looking for, or if you would like a better idea of what the value of your home. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Best regards. Again, include some item of value, your business card. So there's a specific letter for those additional buyers that didn't get a home. I'd be targeting the same people. Do you guys remember the story about that marketing company that was trying to put together campaigns for like just for ideas of how long they're trying to figure out how long does it take to establish your brand in marketplaces? How long does it take to get activity? Well, they went to a neighborhood and they basically found these 75 homes in one neighborhood. They went to the neighborhood, they went door to door, with clipboards and badges. They're like, hi, we're doing, we're trying to discover, who is the expert realtor, in this neighborhood, who would you call, if you were to buy or sell your house? And they said, they said they didn't know, right? They went through, they might've had like a couple names for the whole neighborhood. So what did they do? They created a marketing campaign. They did it for like 10 months. They basically made a postcard, made up an agent's name, said, hi, I'm Joe Blow, the Fairwood, neighborhood expert. I'm your neighborhood, professional. Call, they were just sending different postcards to the same neighborhood. They did it for 10 months straight. They went out again after the 10 months, door knocked again, did a new survey. Who do you think they said was the neighborhood expert?
The person that they were
The
getting.
fake person, Joe Blow. Oh yeah, we would call Joe. Joe is fake. Joe actually got phone calls. They had a fake number set up for things. They had fake calls. What does that tell you? It takes consistency. I mean, it doesn't take a lot. I mean, really, but you got to send out something, be consistent. And if you say you're the expert, they kind of they kind of say there is one because there wasn't one. They knew there wasn't one. So you're not sending out something every single month. That's bad. You're missing out. So there's that next letter. Okay, the next one is your price, your terms, your way. This is little bit more generic. This is, dear John and Jane homeowner, as you may know, there are not many homes for sale in your neighborhood. A home in your neighborhood just sold for, something thousand over list price with so many offers. We still have, so many families looking for a home in your neighborhood. If you've been thinking of selling or would like an update on what is going on in your neighborhood, we would like the opportunity to meet with you and discuss with you the options you have in today's real estate market with the historic low interest rates. You're scratching that, and dramatically low inventory levels. Okay, buyer demand is high. If you'd like further information on how we can help you accomplish your housing goals, or you have questions regarding today's multiple offer market, please call, text, email today. Your home may be worth more than you think. So this is a different one, right? I mean, obviously some of these letters are gonna have to be retooled a little bit, but that is a way for you to even get into a neighborhood. If you have not had a listing, okay, you didn't have a listing at all, but there have been homes selling, because there are some homes selling in neighborhoods. I would go sold in the last, and you don't want to go too far back. I would probably do the last 30 days, right? Let's go to your market you want, King County. Last 30 days in King County, 1,260 homes sold. So pick your market. Wherever you want to, you don't have you did not have a listing, you don't have a buyer. You have homes that have sold, right? There are homes in Bothell, 19 sold in the last month. Go to the map, fine tune to a neighborhood that you want to concentrate at and sell. Now, go use your title person, pull the homeowners and out-of-state owners in this area with like homes that, maybe have sold. If you look at all of these, right? Maybe use your draw a polygon tool, right? Go around this place. Okay. And now you got results. Now you got different houses. Go pick all the neighbors out that you want to mail to. Tell them, hey, these homes sold. This is what they sold for. They were on the market for this long. And you're just sending to those people of every home that keeps selling. What does that naturally tell those people?
You're the agent of the area.
You must be the agent of the area. You're the one who's telling them what's going on in the market. If they have questions, now you have better opportunities. There's a different letter for that. All right, next one is we have a buyer for your home. I have a family that's looking to purchase a home in your neighborhood. As you may know, there are not many homes for sale in Madison Park. We have narrowed down our clients, Mark and Kat's director search to homes that this is like one of the ones I literally sent out for them, and we got an off-market house. I sent it and it actually worked. So if someone says, oh, that doesn't work, it really does work. Has anyone else gotten an off-market deal from letters at all in here? Okay, anybody in Zoom? Okay, sending us out directly. We'd appreciate the opportunity to schedule private showing while observing sanitary standards. We can accommodate for a quick closing or an extended closing, whichever works best for you. At General Scott, our main focus is working with you in primarily your safety and good health with historic low interest rates and dramatic low inventory of homes. Buyer demand is high in many neighborhoods. We have the hottest real estate market in the country and do not know how long it will last. We were even saying it in our letters, people. Now is that time to sell. Now is the time to sell. If you would like further information on how we can help you accomplish your housing goals, or you have any questions regarding today's real estate market, please call, text, email me. Your home may be worth more than you think. Warmest regards. So this is like the letter pretty much I sent and got a
I think that's
house.
the one I sent too. And I had gotten, it was a condo, gotten it from my buyer.
Yep.
At the end, my buyer financing didn't fall through, but the seller still wanted to sell, so they allowed me to list it to,
Oh,
so.
geez.
So, could you talk about the representation? Like, let's just say you do send out a letter and you have someone saying, okay, yeah, like bring the buyer likes it. And you're writing up the offer, but where's your representation with the seller?
Okay, so who did you start out representing in that
The
deal
buyer.
anyway?
The buyer.
You represented the buyer.
That's it.
That's it. You really cannot do an off-market sale, represent both sides. You do that, that is the fastest direct way to get a loss, to be sued. You will not win. There is no winning that. The judge will laugh at you. Like, really? You thought you can represent both of them? Like, come on, it's not even on the market. And your errors and omissions insurance will look at all the ways to not cover you in that situation. Oh, you showed up to the home inspection? You're supposed to be protecting the seller? How are you gonna do that? So there's just, that's just, you're playing with major fire. You just can't do it. It really can't be done.
So you're.
You would just do your contract, including a 41C, you're marking the top box, it's, it's not listed. Does the seller agree to pay compensation? Then that's the box you're using. If the seller's like, I'm not paying compensation, and the buyer's like, I'll pay it all day long if you get me this house for 500,000, it's worth 580. Whatever, yeah, I'll do that. So you need a buyer's agency agreement, right, for your compensation. So you really you'll have it worked out. I would definitely have a buyer's agency agreement signed before you even go see an off-market sale.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you don't have an agreement with the seller, and if you take the buyer, they can take you out of it and work together.
There you go. You might get cut out of a deal of something you found for them. Now you're working against yourself because you're not doing proper paperwork. Explain to the buyer that, hey, this is off market. It is not listed. Unfortunately, I have to have a buyer's agency agreement, even to ask the seller to try to pay the compensation. And that's if they even will. So we have to start out with that. If they're not going to pay it, then we need to figure out how I get paid. You're not allowed to work for free. Pro bono, you cannot do unless you've passed the bar exam and you're an attorney. Otherwise, you cannot do it. All right, 50,000 over list price. If you get multiple offers and stuff like that in the market, are we still seeing multiple offers right now?
Yes.
Yeah. How many people have lost out on offers? Like, oh, look at it, hands went. 4 hands in the room already. 4 offer, you've lost 4?
Well, I mean, before we have to sell a credit back, like, I'm not gonna feel just.
I didn't sell, we waived contingency, we came in at 100 for, 100 asking price.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for any charge or none of that stuff.
Yeah.
But we had a 45 day.
That's tough too. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you're doing off-market letters for all those buyers. All right, next is a condo buyer letter template. If you have someone buying condo, they want condo, we have a specific buyer, condo buyer letter. Hello, resident, right? And you're going to name the condo building and address on the top. My name is Eric. I work for John L. Scott Real Estate in Kent North. I have a buyer who's very interested in purchasing a condo in the condo development. Their name, right, has always dreamed of living in name of the development. Or my client has several close friends who live there, who live here and would like to live near them, right? You choose whatever thing fits best for that client you're sending the letter for. And just missed out on a recent listing. So flip this script, use it for your buyers so that are into single family residential. So wherever they missed out on a home, get with your title person, get those names of all the homeowners, say, my client just lost an offer at this house, down the street. You got to start reverse prospecting to those, neighbors around the neighbor that maybe you lost the offer at, because there's an additional opportunity. Please let me know if you or any of the neighbors are considering putting your condo up for sale. Please let me know when you are free to talk for a few minutes and a good phone number to reach you at. I look forward to speaking with you. Best wishes. And it says disclaimer, this document is provided as a sample, does not constitute legal advice. Members should modify this. Oh, this is the thing for us. You could put the thing like, this is not intended to solicit an active listing. If you're going to mail it to the whole thing, there's things active still, be careful. You want to look at that. So just be mindful, look in the building, see if anything's active. You might want to remove that person from your mailing list. Okay. All right. Other ones, last few ones before we wrap up. There's a couple different renditions of we have a buyer for your home. Again, I mean, this one's pretty generic that, we're like looking, in the market. Those ones are okay, but again, guys, a hyper local, naming the names. Actually, sending out for those clients is going to do way more than just the generic of we have buyers. You can do that. You can pull your buy side for a neighborhood. What I would do for those people who hit your buy side, there's a letter that you can, send is like, it's pretty generic that, hey, looks like you checked the value of your home through my, through my website. These are automated value models, just to let you know, this is a computer, that's given an average. If you want a real, more solid, number on what, your property's worth, I would be happy to come out for, a free consultation to do a complete comparative market analysis and a buyer market analysis for your property. That's when you do the BMA and a CMA, Cloud CMA and a Unibind, take it, and then go do your normal, appointments for seller consultation. And then last but not least, I do have like a thing of where are all the listings. I'll send this, I'm gonna revise this one and I'll send it out later today too. So I'll send all these letters, but hopefully you guys learned a couple things that you can kind of implement now. That, every time you got a buyer, especially, or a listing, there are additional opportunities that you're not taking and you're just missing out on more business, plain and simple. All right, that is it for today. Thank you guys for making it.
Thank you, Aaron. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, take care, guys.
Are you